Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Adam Hills and Ed Byrne, Chris Addison, Hugh Dennis and Stuart Francis. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of the Prime Minister with two of his cabinet colleagues. But what does CAFS stand for?
Is it George Osborne's middle name's Crepuscular Addendum Fandango Sousaphone?
Is it couldn't arrange a fondle in a strip club?
Cocky, aristocratic, foppish and smug.
Could it be Charlie's Angels, the failed sequel?
Is it Cruising Area for Sex?
Is it, in fact, from left to right, clueless, albino face, slaphead?
That's just abuse, by the way, you're applauding there. That's not actual satire, that is just being rude about them.
Is Cameron simply saying, crikey, a fox, splendid?
It's written all over the toilets here. Is it Chris Addison Fancy Stewart?
Okay, I'm going to move towards the correct answer, please.
OK, is it Cameron apologises for sexism?
Yes, it is. Well done, thank you very much, Hugh. There you go. Yes, the answer I was looking for is Cameron apologises for sexism. This is the news that Prime Minister David Cameron has apologised for a number of remarks he made in the House of Commons that were interpreted as being sexist. Speaking on the eve of the Conservative Party conference, he said he screwed up over his comments and must do better. The apology is seen as a way for Cameron to attempt to woo back female voters. Now, do we know what the incidents were?
Yes, yeah. What he did was he said, apparently, to one of the MPs in the House, he said, calm down, dear.
Yes.
Now, that is a sad thing when you've got to basically impersonate Michael Winner.
Meanwhile, George Osborne's behind him going, all we need to do is stimulate the European meerkat. He said he's apologised for them, hasn't he? And he's actually said now to woo women voters that he doesn't regard women as beneath him. He doesn't want them to do menial jobs like, you know, making tea, because he's got Nick Clegg to do that for him. So
yeah, he apologised later in an interview with the Sunday Times, it was, by claiming that, and these are his exact words, I'm not sort of one of the lads, actually, you know, one of my best friends. When I go out, it's like, no, I'm not explaining this properly. Even the fact that one of his best friends may have been a woman until he actually totted it up his head and went, no, I can't back that up.
As the closest thing to a woman on this panel, Chris, is what Cameron said offensive?
Speaking for the sisterhood.
Cameron talked about his problems with women to Andrew Marr. Now, there is a man... a man who took out a super injunction to try and prevent people talking about the fact he was having a fling with a journalist. And you're thinking, if you're going to have an affair, don't have it with somebody who writes for a living. Have it with Wayne Rooney. He is never... You think Rooney has days when he's got to write down his own name, he has to check the back of his shirt, and even then he writes down 10.
You know, there was another comment that he made to the MP Peter Bone, who has apparently a tendency to ask questions referring to his wife, and saying, oh, well, this would certainly make Mrs Bone, you know, and would use her as every woman, I think, in the questions. But he referred to it once after he asked some questions, Cameron said, I do feel now that a very big part of my life is trying to give pleasure to Mrs Bone. I feel on this occasion I can only go so far.
Mr. Bone has a point.
I tried to look this up, so I googled Peter Bone's wife, and I didn't get anything done for the next 2 hours.
It does sound like a child's pornography book. Yeah. See Peter's wife. Peter Bone's wife.
He also said, there's a quote from Cameron, I'm aware women are not as supportive of the coalition as others. Now, who are these others? He means men! He can't even be bothered to call us people, can he?
Moving on. What did Cameron say in all these interviews that the British were very good at?
Inventing.
Inventing, yes.
Yeah.
He suggested-
An actual quote from him was, "We invented the jet engine, DNA, the World Wide Web." And you know, I don't know what we used to do before you invented DNA here.
What he doesn't realise is, in Australia, the DNA spirals the opposite direction.
Well, don't you just refer to it as and?
It's also worth remembering you can invent something and not be good at it. Do you know what I mean? Like Britain also invented rugby and cricket.
Yes. Who did win the last two Ashes?
Yes. Who's that? Please. We are not going to have any of that childish name calling from an Australian.
Oh, if this was about the hurling, you'd be all over this shit.
I was actually going to point out that Ireland beat Australia, but you know, what the hell.
I would just like to mention that I was out there for the cricket over the winter, very enjoyable. And nothing better than hearing the Barmy Army sing to the Australian fans, "Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over you." And follow it up with, "Your next queen is Camilla Parker Bowles." Camilla Parker Bowles, Camilla Parker Bowles.
You very much brought that on yourself. Who might George Osborne have offended during his speech?
Eric Pickles,
Eric Pickles, yes, apparently. All right, it's not a great photograph of poor Eric Pickles, but he's beginning apparently.
Find a great photograph of Eric Pickles.
Mr. Pickles.
He's so Dickensian. He's in every photograph he appears more like, good evening, Eric Pickles here. You shall work on Christmas Day. You should be glad of it. Have some coal, that's all you're getting.
You might expect him to lift up the hat and a little ham sandwich to fall out of the top.
It's odd though, he's always referred to as Eric Pickles, he's never referred to as Mr. Pickles. And that is possibly because Mr. Pickles makes him sound like a cat.
One of those overweight cats that has to back itself into a corner to clean itself.
Moving on, please. Moving on. What is happening to the traditional police station? What was announced this week?
It's closing.
Well, no, they're not
Well, they're not
closing.
all closed. They're
You make
closing
it sound
the
like there's
public-
one. There's one traditional police station,
Yeah.
and we've decided to close it.
Yeah, it was panicked as if they were getting rid of all the police. They're getting rid of the public counter, the place you go to get your passport photograph signed, whatever it is. Now you phone up and you use the automated phone system. You know, to what extent, it's not like phoning for cinema tickets. It's not like they're going to go, "Did you say London?"
You're being stabbed, press 2.
Did you say there was a bugler in your house? No, not a bugler. If there is a bugler in your house, tell him to stop bugling. Bugling loudly in a house after 11 o'clock is an offence, and you may be arrested by the police. All right, send them!
Basically, they should do with the police stations what they did with the post offices and just put them in branches of W.H. Smith. So the officer will say to you, "Thank you very much for reporting this murder, Mum. Just before you go, would you like a massive dairy milk for £1?"
The grey area between what is an emergency and what is not an emergency.
Are you going, "Ah! Emergency"?
Yeah.
No, not emergency.
Are you speaking really quietly because there's somebody in the house?
Yeah.
And you're like,
I'm being attacked by the man from Lurpak Becker.
yeah, that would be really weird as the guy from the Lurpak Butter Attack chat.
You have to put him in a glass.
I think I can hold him off until the heating kicks in. But more likely they're going to ring up and go, "Is this a non-emergency number?" "Yes." He said, "There's been a burglary in my house." "Oh, why is it not an emergency?" "I shot him." "So take your time." He's not going anywhere. OK, getting that round. The points go to Ed, Adam and Andy. Now we play a round called Thinking Outside the Mocks. This game involves Stuart, Ed and Adam, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch a wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. The first subject is Kids, who wants to come in on that?
Ah, sweet.
Ebra.
Sorted. Know about this now. Ah, yes, kids. I became a dad 9 months ago. And I haven't let it change my life completely. And that, well, the one thing I'm worried about is I don't want to be one of those people who prefaces a statement with the phrase, speaking as a parent. Speaking as a parent. Gather round, everyone. He's speaking as a parent now. Quick, come in. No, bring in the people from the other room. He's speaking as a parent. No, he was only speaking as an arsehole before. Now he's speaking as a parent. Yes, oh, sage one, speak. Tell us your wisdom. Impart your knowledge. Speaking as a parent. Doesn't it make you want to stab them as a maniac? Because the thing is, you read the books. There's loads of books you can buy on being a parent. That's why, there's millions of books, in fact. That's why I get really annoyed when people use that excuse for their bad parenting. They always come, oh, well, you know, kids, they don't come with an instruction manual, do they? No. You have to buy one. They're like £7. But the books, one thing the books warned me about, it hasn't turned out to be a problem. Books warn me that sometimes the man can become jealous of the affection the woman gives the child. I've not had... The only issue I've had in that direction is that when I burp, I get frowned at, and when he does it, he gets a round of applause. That's not fair. So why is his wind so much more important and exciting than mine? My wife has spent anything up to an hour trying to get wind out of him. Will she pull my finger? No, she will not.
Thank you very much, Jack. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is travel. Who is coming out? Adam.
Yeah. I'd like to say something, and in particular because Stuart Francis is here, I love Canada. I love Canada. Because Canadians are normally the politest, quietest people on the planet. The first time I went to Canada, I went to Toronto. And in Toronto, they had, at that point, the world's tallest tower, and they were half an hour from Niagara Falls. Not one person boasted about it. If I'd landed in an American city with the world's tallest tower, it would have been, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boston, home of the world's tallest building! The only reason I knew it was in Canada was that I went to the hotel reception and went, oh, what should I do today? And the guy went, oh, maybe check out the CN Tower. Oh, really? Why's that? Oh, no reason. I just think you might like it. I got to the top, and it wasn't even a big thing. It was just a little plaque that went, CN Tower, world's tallest building. And I went back to him that night and went, it's the world's tallest building. And he went, oh, yeah, that's right. Thought you might like it. How do you feel about waterfalls? The thing I love the most about Canada, though, is that they have Braille on their banknotes. I don't know if you know that. All Canadian money has Braille on it, so that blind people know how much money they're giving over at any given point in time. What an amazing country. They're bilingual, they have same-sex marriages, and they have Braille on their banknotes. Canada is the only place in the world in which two blind French lesbians can get married and pay for it in cash.
Thank you very much, I've OK, that leaves us with Stuart. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. It's romance.
That was terrific, by the way, Adam.
Oh, thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Ladies, in bed, I like to spoon. Anybody else do heroin? Am I guilty of being romantic? You be the judge. A bottle of champagne on ice, the dulcet voice of Luther Vandross fills the air. A trail of rose petals lead to a bed on which I'm lying naked. Bedroom door slowly opens and I whisper those three special words. Happy birthday, Dad. When women see me naked, they say I look like a Greek god. Hermaphrodite? What's he? I like my women the way I like my skis, rented. With a little wax on their bottom. I'm a very lucky man. I have an amazing wife who has given me 3 incredible blowjobs. Romance.
Thank you very much. And the points go to Adam and Ed. Go on, Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Adam, which category would you like?
I would like home news, please.
OK, your category is home news, and the answer is 10. What is the question?
Is it how many times does Shane Warne have to say the sentence, "No, really, I'm engaged to Liz Hurley," before people believe him? We love that in Australia, by the way.
The Shane Warne
That is
Liz
our
Hurley?
favourite story
It
of the
is the
year.
most insane
You can
thing in
keep
the
the
world.
World Cup and the Ashes.
Done.
And you can keep Liz Hurley. Is it how many days are there in the Greek tax year?
Is it in what year was Jesus 10?
Is it the age lover boy Dara first lost his hair?
What is a cruel name to give your child if your surname is Pin Bowling?
Is it in fact how many words has Zara Phillips said to Mike Tyndall since touching down in New Zealand?
How many members of the House of Lords claimed for leaping duties on the 10th day of Christmas last year?
No.
What is a cruel name to give your child if your surname is Snervous Headache? Is it how many people will be on Bournemouth Beach next weekend?
Is it the number of stolen donuts I can fit on my penis?
Why do they have to be stolen?
You don't want to pay for
how
one
he
that's going to
steals
be wasted on your
Why
penis.
shouldn't you invest in your penis donuts? Don't you all pay for your penis donuts?
What number sounds the most dramatic if you just say it 3 times? 10, 10, 10!
OK, can I have the correct answer,
What
please?
force gale comes out of Eric Pickles on Curry Thursday?
How many years before David Williams will get the taste of sewage out of his mouth?
How many shredded wheat constitute a lethal overdose?
How often do I have to ask you to give me the correct answer, please? Please, in the name of mercy.
Is it how much do they want to increase the speed limit by?
It is
On the
exactly that. Thank you very, very much, Ed Byrne. That's very good. Yes, the question I was looking for, by how many miles per hour is the government looking to raise the motorway speed limit? This is the news that the government has announced proposals to raise the motorway speed limit from 70 miles per hour to 80 miles per hour by 2013. There will be a period of consultation later in the year, and then the first 80 mile per hour motorways and large dual carriageways could exist within 2 years.
Regardless, even if it's 80 miles an hour, you will still get people driving in the middle lane when there is nobody else around. And the reason is they think it's safer, don't they? It's not safer because everybody coming up behind them drives like an idiot. Some people try and overtake them on the inside. Some people come up behind them, start flashing them. I saw one bloke recently, right? He overtook on the outside, then he slowed down on the inside so as he could overtake on the outside again. He started doing a donut around them.
I think the idea is that they say that it'll help the economy. Because if there's more road deaths, that will lower unemployment.
And how much quicker would you do a 50-mile journey on average?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. And people are going, I can get there 5 minutes faster. They're going to stay in bed.
The real problem here is, for the environment, is that, you know, your wife comes home earlier, catches you with somebody else, burns all your stuff, and that releases a load of carbon emissions.
That's really, if you're doing somebody else and you're not allowing at least 5 minutes gap between shutting them out the door and your wife arriving in, you're cutting it very fine there. I'm just saying, you've got to schedule this far better than that.
There's a terrifying feeling of knowledge coming off here.
Fake knowledge about any kind of thing.
Dora Bryn, agony uncle.
I don't want to live in a country with average speed cameras, though, do you? I hate average speed. I want to live in a country that has really good speed cameras.
Which weather-related records were broken recently?
This has been the hottest October since Record Breakers finished.
It was great. It was everybody. Lots of people incredibly happy. Some people just sitting in the sun. Other people phoning up British Gas and going.
Whenever there's a heat wave, I love you guys because you just disrobe. I haven't seen that much skin since I was in a hot tub with Brian Blessed. That is a loofah!
It was just a chance for, the press to roll out their sleazy photographs again. It's like almost as an agency you ring going, we need sleazy photographs fast. Where are the guys who do the A-level results? They've not been busy for a few weeks. There's a photograph of one girl. I don't know if, do we actually we have it?
Is it
don't we have it?
chips
The fish and chips
Oh,
one.
yeah.
The fish and chips. And you're kind of going, and you weren't going, it's a fish and chips you want. Oh, yeah, love, yeah, just a fish and chips there.
You could just eat one. Eat
One,
one of the fish
slowly,
and
now
chips.
in, now out, now in, yeah.
Could you get some?
lovely
Could you
chips,
get some?
yeah.
Just let the grease just drip on you.
Do you think the photographer said, hang on, I'm going to get a sip bladder?
Well done. Very good. No, my favourite, get rid of the tits and the chips, thank you. My favourite thing
And
about
other
it is...
things you've said in hotels before now.
Quick, my wife is coming. Get rid of the chips and the tits. Anyway, my favorite thing is when they say, and it was hotter than Mexico. It was really randomly like we're in a battle with Mexico. Finally, Mexico. Stick that in your sombrero. Hotter than you. And there's somewhere in Guadalajara, there's a man going, oh no, we have to take down the sign. A giant sign saying, this many days since it was hotter in Bournemouth. Pedro, take down the sign, they've won. We shall start again tomorrow.
Everybody does this. I read in the papers that Jersey was boasting that it had been hotter than Hawaii. But, on the other hand, Hawaii didn't collaborate with the Nazis, so...
It wasn't good for everyone because Tesco said they sold 3 million extra burgers, right, and 800,000 sausages. So while we were enjoying it, pigs and cows were looking up going, oh shit.
It made me realise why British people never plan barbecues, because you never know ahead of time when it's actually going to be nice weather. Because I was actually sitting in the hot weather going, oh, this is lovely, we should have people over next weekend. And my friends are going, it's only going to last a day. I suddenly realised why British barbecues are so frantic. It's like, Terry, the sun's out, quick, get to Tesco, get some sausages, get one of them little 4 barbecues. We've only got a few minutes.
Barbecue, stat.
People have managed to turn it around into a complaint, though, haven't they? Because it's over. It's over now. People go, well, it's over, isn't it? It's over now. There's a hurricane. Now it's all cold. But that's life, isn't it? Everything balances out. Everything in life, yin and yang. For everything nice, you get something nasty. That's why fun fairs are run by the most threatening people you've ever met in your life.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Chris Hughes. Show us! OK, now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panellists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely instructions.
Please do not use this electrical appliance while you're in the bath. Actually, you know what? Go on. If you're that dumb, I think we can afford to lose you.
Nick Clegg Feng Shui. Move everything to the right for an easier life.
Hot noodle. For best results, put back on the shelf.
If pain persists, see a doctor. Just make sure it's not Michael Jackson's doctor.
To light gas, first place match near buttocks.
One of these condoms has got a hole in it. Are you feeling lucky, punk?
Dale Farm yoghurt. Contents may settle.
Please retain these assembly instructions in case you want to disassemble the furniture when you realise moving in with her wasn't the best move after all.
Instructions for sandwich toaster. Week 1, eat nothing but toasted sandwiches. Week 2, put in cupboard and never use again.
If unsure how to apply condom, take banana and beat erection with it till it goes away.
Enjoy your animal-shaped biscuits. Do not eat if seal is broken.
To reboot, pick up boots and put them on again.
Congratulations on your new bread maker. Ooh, I bet Kingsmill are quaking in their boots.
Game is over either when one player collects all cheeses or Daddy has a tantrum and kicks the board across the room.
Are your hands full, but you want to transfer 10 donuts?
Okay. The next topic is unlikely things to hear in a restaurant.
Let's skip the pudding. You look like you've had enough already.
Wow, thanks for picking up the bill, Dara.
No, I'm sorry, we don't have snail porridge. No, this isn't owned by Heston Blumenthal. This is Heston Services.
How does crispy aromatic duck sound? Quack, quack. But that was before it was either crispy or aromatic.
Do I have a reservation? Well, I'm not sure about all these Polish people moving over here.
Table for two, please. But no food. I'm a woodworm.
This is a traditional Greek restaurant, so don't worry if you can't pay. The German government will cover it.
You'd like a Foster's? Hang on, I'll see if we've got any left. Barry, any Foster's left? Yeah, keg's nearly full, Jim.
Here's the tip. If you find the rest of the chef's penis, please let us know.
Have you been to a harvester before? I'm joking, no one comes twice.
It's nice to see the rugby players getting along with the dwarves.
Well, that's an unusual taste, isn't it? What is in this death by chocolate?
It's nice to see Zara and Mike getting along.
Yes, it is all-you-can-eat night, and that's why you can't come in, Mr. Pickles.
Oh, my God. There's a man's face in my soup and it looks just like me.
Excellent choice, sir. This lady is much fitter than your wife.
Rose for the lady. If you want to do something for the lady, why don't you fuck off?
Okay, the point go to Chris Hughes. And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are Chris Allison, Hugh Dennis and Stuart Francis. Commiserations to Andy Parsons, Alan Hills and Ed Byrne. Thank you for watching. I'm Dara Breen. Good night.
Tomorrow at 10, we're as snug as a bug on BBC Two with Stephen Fry's QI on insects and invertebrates. While on BBC Three now, Robbie Savage is giving Strictly a rest for a round of well good golf with Lee Nelson. Quality.
I'm Dara O'Brien. Happy Christmas and welcome to a special festive edition of Mock the Week. We'll be talking about the holidays as well as looking back at some of our favourite moments from the last series, along with bonus bits we've never shown before. Hope you enjoyed them. We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Fred, which category would you like?
World news, please, Dara.
OK, your category is world news. The answer is 1/5. What's the question?
Is this what fraction of the Jackson 5 might miss the Christmas party?
Is it how much of the weekend can Andrew Flintoff remember?
Is it how much of French and Saunders is Saunders?
Is it what proportion of Enid Blyton's The Famous Five can lick their own testicles?
Is it England's only dwarf king was called Henry the what?
How much of a Boris Johnson speech is not, well, I say, gosh?
Is it how does Jamie Oliver pronounce one fish?
Is it how much of Wikipedia is true?
I'll tell you, on that... Actually, I won't mention that on telly.
What does it say about you?
Go on, what does it say about you?
No, go on.
It says, somebody's written, I was once kicked out of a zoo for punching a monkey, and then somebody underneath has put correction, he spanked the monkey.
That's hard.
I didn't do either. Didn't do either.
In my bit on a trivia about me, it says, I once aided the RSPCA in saving a goose from a tile shop. I don't remember the event. It's incredibly specific.
What's the point of Wikipedia if people just write it themselves? I think every Wikipedia entry should have to start with I reckon.
Probably.
Yeah.
Do you know
On
what?
the balance
Somebody
of
else.
possibilities.
I've just remembered another. This is a creepy thing that somebody put on my Wikipedia. They said of me, he looks like the kind of straight bloke that would be quite good at gay sex. I'll be honest, when I read that, I did go, get in. But he went on to say, but he looks like he'd cry afterwards. So there's part of me now that wants to find a gay man to test the theory. So if there's any out there, bring it.
I suspect there will be a few out there.
Yeah.
Probably about 1/5.
There you go.
What honour was the actor Nicolas Cage given this year?
Oh, Nicolas Cage, right? He's actually going to be able to turn the Christmas lights on in Bath.
This, by the way, aren't the lights in Bath. This is...
Apparently, what happened was...
Those are the lights in Dundee.
Somebody actually put a note through his door. He's got a house in Bath, and he's agreed to turn on the lights. I put a note through Cheryl Cole's door, and apparently that's a matter for the police.
Do you know what's really weird about this story?
Not only is it incredible that they've got Nicolas Cage to do it, but also there must have been an incredibly uneasy phone call to Barry Chuckle. Yeah, sorry, Barry, Nicolas Cage is doing it.
Well,
maybe they gave him a part in an action movie where he knocks out Vin Diesel by turning round quickly with a plank.
Do you know what's really awkward about this story? This is genuinely true. Until last week, I was doing it.
Really?
I was there. Yeah. And then from nowhere, Cage has just jumped. It's funny, all my relatives like, do you want us to sort him out? No, I don't want you to sort him out. Because we'll go around there and mess him up. Don't mess him up.
Because you were originally up for the part in Face Off as well, weren't you?
And what's really funny about it is the lady that posted the letter through the door is the exact lady that went, oh, we'd love you to do it. You'd be great. And then I read in the paper, without even telling me, the big Nicholas... You bitch!
About 10 years ago, I switched on the Christmas lights in Kidderminster.
Wow!
And because I've been rude.
There are Christmas lights in Kidderminster.
Yeah.
Were you asked to do this?
Yeah, because we've been rude.
We hit Bruce Willis!
We've been rude about Kidderminster on television. Got a letter from the Kidderminster Tourist Board or whatever saying, would you come and switch on the Christmas lights? So you think, oh, that'd be great, I'd love to do that. But you don't actually do it. Because what they do is they give you one of those enormous pretend switches right? And you have to kind of go like this on a balcony to a crowd below, and you kind of go, oh, we're going to press the thing now. And you press it, and as you press it, a bloke in a room behind turns on a switch. So you're not doing it.
So hang on a minute, so that bloke's going to be me. I'm going to be the guy.
Right. So you were asked to do it because you were rude about
Because I was
Kidderminster.
rude about Kidderminster. I also did a joke once about Wolverhampton and got invited on a tour of Wolverhampton.
I'm thinking bigger than that. If I slag off Jessica Alba, do I get a tour of Jessica Alba?
Well, apparently Bristol wanted to have Bruce Willis switching on their lights, but then they remembered that he tends to get into a lot of trouble around Christmas time.
Our next round is called Newsreel, replaying a recent piece of footage featuring people in the news and ask Hugh to suggest what might be being said. This week's clip features Gordon Brown.
Hello, happy Christmas, everybody. Just making sure everything's ready for the event tonight. Where am I sitting? That's it. Just here. No decorations, I see. That's good. I'm Scottish. I don't do joy. So, sitting in the middle here. That's right. Right next to the President of the United States. He's specially requested he sit next to me. So, when a barber comes in, if you could just make sure that he sits in that chair. Super glue him if you have to. That's good. What the hell is going on? I was meant to be sitting next to President Obama. I come in, somebody switched all the nameplates around, and now he's sitting next to that great, fat Scottish guy with a hairy arse. That is completely unbelievable. Testing. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. What? Anybody know what number comes next? No, one of the economies in shite. So,
what would you like from the menu? I have 1,000 burritos, 3,000 nachos, and a pint of Tamiflu, please. Thank you.
So, let's get on with the main event. Let's get on with the first round of this, the annual G20 Leaders Christmas Quiz. Question set by Great Britain. In front of you should find a picture round and an anagram round. But to get things going, we'll do world news. So, on Boxing Day 1994, who did Raith Rovers beat? 3 goals to 2 at Starks Park. So, 3 goals to 2, Starks Park. Nice, easy one to start them off there. In the meantime, I think I'll just have a quick look round, see if anybody's written any more interesting speeches than I have. I think practically everybody. So, that's unbelievable. I just get off for a piss. I'm Gordon Brown, he's nicked my bloody seat again. I don't know what's going on. Good news. I've just told Manchester City to bid 300 million for Bobby Charlton.
Yes, Mr. Putin, he did what? They voted for Norway in Eurovision. Leave it with me. Kill him.
Hey, Obama, when you come to Australia, don't think you're going to play with my didgeridoo.
Go on, Brian. Tell him the joke. Go on, he would love to hear a joke. He loves jokes. Okay, Obama, come here. Yes, you're lovely. I got this from a Christmas cracker. What happens when you eat Christmas decorations? Huh? You get tinselitis.
I don't believe it. He nicked my bloody chair. I was sitting there, he just come on, he nicked my bloody chair. It's unbelievable.
So that's the first round done. Now to the second round. This will be slightly easier. Economic news. Which Scotsman was single-handedly responsible for saving the world economic system? So, which Scotsman saved the world economic? Nice, easy question there. I think we'll get full marks for that one. That's, incidentally, Barack, I don't know what you're doing at Christmas, but you're quite welcome to join us at Oxney. We'll be doing charades, drinking lots of whiskey, and best of all, I'll be there. So,
oh my God, I'm so tired. I think I left Carla chained to the bed. I have to go and get her.
What am I doing in this footage?
So, Gordon Brown, what a great guy. Yeah, he's a great guy. That's my bit done. Could you get me out of here? Gordon is so dull. It says on this bit of paper I'm meant to be sitting next to an Indonesian guy. What happened to him? So that's the end of round 2. Now we come on to the famous picture round. In front of you, you'll find pictures of 8 Scottish Episcopalian cathedrals. I'd like you to put those in the correct geographical order, north to south. In the meantime, I'm going to go through the rounds, the scores of the previous round, and some very funny team names you've come up with, of course. Putin Polonium, currently on 2 points. Sarkozy, so easy, on 5. Nicolas normally likes to score more than that. Leading at the moment with 10, Great Britain and their team, Gordon must go. But to leave you, I'm going to tell you a Christmas joke. Why did Santa have to close his toy factory? Elf and safety. That's yeah. Oh, God.
Back at home, what has the Tory-controlled council in Barnet announced recently?
Oh, yeah. Basically, that Barnet Council have said that they want to try and streamline their services like a budget airline. And you think, well, that's a stupid idea, isn't it? Because let's face it, budget airlines most people regard as crap. You can basically go on Ryanair now, you're supposed to have to pay £1, aren't you, for the toilet. And you're thinking often you've only spent £1 for the actual flight itself. You'll be there having a dump thinking, this better be a good one. I could have got a return ticket for this.
You'd sort of be weighing it up, wouldn't you? Going, is this one worth £1? To be honest, this feels like it's going to do 20 quid's worth of damage. Let's go. The Tories, for being a market party, have never understood the market. So they think if something's successful and sells well, people love it. You know, they tolerate things. You know, I shit 3 times a day. I don't love it.
And we all have it. You know that's too many. That's too often.
I've been to Barnet. Of all the places, like, if you're going to do a no-frills government, at least do it somewhere that had frills in the first place. I mean, taking frills out of Barnet is like taking the charisma out of Milton Keynes.
I agree. I grew up in
Barnet. Council has frills, did he?
No.
I mean, street cleaning in Glasgow involves sprinkling gravy granules in front of a homeless guy on a leash.
Of all weeks, this week where there's been a bank holiday in England, it would be a very good week, because I would imagine up and down the streets of England there have been millions and millions of bins left out for 24 hours because people forgot, because it was a bank holiday, that the bins would be collected a day later. I don't know if you drove to any street at night, there are loads of bins out that people forgot, because we're stupid, and frankly, we pay money so that you'll do it, so that I don't have to worry about that, and the bin fairies will come along and make the rubbish go away.
Can I check something? Are you only supposed to put your bins out, what, on a certain day or something?
Yeah, that is the way it works. You're not supposed to leave the bins out and after every meal walk out with a plate and just scoop them into the table.
Well, there you go, that's what a maverick I am. I'm having 3 shits a day and I'm putting my bins out whenever I want. Nobody stop me.
And have you noticed that, like, people in your street are getting more and more hostile with you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was my appearances on this.
They're probably quite charmed by that. But the fact that you just pile up household effluence.
What if the time that I'm supposed to put my bin out, I'm having one of my 3 long shits?
Where are you having long? It's not like a mail train where, like, you have to hold your bin out at exactly the right moment.
There's nothing in there that's of any use to anybody.
It's not the utility of your rubbish.
You two, simmer down.
Every night after we record this show, I have to go and do the fucking bins, right? I go home, and not only do I have to do the bins, I have to separate everything I've used into every component part. Hounslow Council have given me... It's just driving me up the wall, right? Do you know about it? They give me a bag. They give me a bag. Yeah. Every 2 weeks, I have to fill a bag with garden waste. Oh, my God. I have to go to parks and collect leaves and put it in the bag. Right.
There's no reason you shouldn't put your bins out whatever day you like, because you're enormous. If I was you, I'd just pour everything out the top floor window, and when someone turned up to complain, I'd say, yeah, what about it? I look like I was created in a science accident.
Why was it difficult to buy Christmas cards this year? Don't do this. Don't do this. This is topical, hot topical for now, mid-December. It's very exciting that we discuss this topic right now.
Did someone not leave a note in a
You're absolutely right. I'm going to ask a question. So why was it difficult to buy Christmas cards this year?
Because Santa's turned really evil, Dara.
No, it's not because Santa's turned really evil.
Well, you say that, but he's turned sensual. He's become the sensual Santa.
No, genuinely, go on. Why? So what?
It's because Santa's been behaving like an
It's nothing to do with Santa. It's nothing to do with Santa.
Well, this is to do with Christmas.
From the top up, he's sensual, he's got the oils.
There's no erotic Santa action here.
If I was an old man with a beard and I looked a little bit like Santa, come Christmas time, I'd just be walking around shops going, here, you've been a naughty boy. Obviously to kids, not to men.
Yeah, that was a bit wrong.
Kids doesn't make it
you
better.
said it to me and I got slightly scared.
My favourite thing about Christmas, though, has to be the parlour games that you play. We always play a game in our house. We play Celebrity. You know, the thing where you put the names of... Everyone writes the names of loads of celebrities and you put them in a bowl and you got to pull them out and you got to describe them to your team. You know what I'm talking about? And we were playing that once in our house one Christmas. And my auntie pulled out Steve Jobs, the head of Apple, which gives you a window into what my family are like, that Steve Jobs, the head of Apple, is considered a celebrity. And she didn't know who Steve Jobs was because she's only married into the family. She's not as big a nerd as the rest of us. And so she says, first name is the McQueen, who was in The Great Escape. So we all go, Steve. And then she goes, the surname is... And she points at her husband, my uncle, who was made redundant in the recession. And went, his surname is, you've not got one of these anymore. Which, funny in itself, as funny as that was, what was even funnier was my ma, who was right at the end of the row, and at the angle she was at, thought that my auntie was pointing at my dad. And my ma went, Steve Prostate. That pretty much did us for the rest of the night, that is.
Our next round is a festive Between the Lines and features Hugh and Russell. Would you make your way to the press pit, please? Russell delivers a speech in the guise of a lead. The cushion. That was your cushion, wasn't it, that you nicked? Yeah.
Oh, that was really horrible.
By contrast...
Touch your cramp.
Oh, madness occurs in the compilation.
It's Christmas. We're having a laugh at Christmas.
Oh, ghastly. Oh, I hope you're having a good Christmas.
Watching this, you loser.
Look at them whenever you do, to do right. We're having a laugh. I hope you are too. I'm here with my loved ones. Maybe you are too. The next round is Between the Lines. It features Hugh and Russell. Would you make your way to the press pit, please? Russell delivers a speech in the guise of a leading figure on the world stage, while you... His name isn't you. You, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I can't believe you flinched then. I wasn't going to hurt you.
You could have. Hugh and Russell, would you make your way to the press pit, please? Russell delivers a speech in the guise of a leading figure on the world stage, while Hugh translates what they really mean. This week, Russell is Prince Charles.
My loyal subjects.
I know. One can dream.
My mother asked me to give the Christmas speech this year.
I think that's what she said, but the pillow was muffling her voice.
I'm going to talk about the things that really matter to the British people.
Architecture, polo, and cars that run on cheese.
Season's greetings from Sandringham. The royal family always feel at home in Norfolk.
We're poorly educated inbreds. We enjoy torturing animals.
Yesterday we played golf all afternoon. Andrew shot 2 birdies and an albatross.
And my father shot a fox, 2 dogs, and a teenage criminal from King's Lynn.
I've come up with an exciting new initiative.
These aren't just biscuits. These are Dutchy original biscuits.
Speaking of which, we still need to work on our ginger nuts.
Prince Harry, as we call him.
It's really wonderful to see... Sorry, wrong voice. Merry Christmas.
Is that your Nick Griffin impression?
It's really wonderful to see the kind of man William has grown into.
A toothy, bald man.
Wills has the charisma, charm, and media skills that made his mother an icon.
And Harry has the personality, courage, and ginger hair that made his father a major in the British Army.
My father is 89, and I can assure you his health is as rude as ever.
Only this morning he said, "Merry Christmas, you jug-eared tit."
Well done, Hugh and Russell. In other news, who's in line for Christmas #1?
This is the Pope.
It
the
is the
Pope
Pope.
is going to be releasing a record.
Somebody from Geffen Records, who are his record company, said the Pope has got almost a lullaby tone to the way he sings.
Schlieffen, Kinder! Schlieffen! Schlieffen!
Oh, the Santa Claus, Nick's coming!
Nick, come on! Schlieffen!
You think it's going to be a very popular record, though, isn't it? It's not just going to be Christians who are going to want to buy it. Everybody is going to want to buy it because those who aren't Christians are going to want to play it backwards to see if there's a different message inside.
Wouldn't that be great? Just meet me by the bins, meet me by the bins, yeah. Meet me by the bins, meet me by the bins. Oh, meet me by the bins. I'm buying it.
And I think you should record that. That's actually quite good.
In fact, let's do that. Let's rival him. Let's do a Mock the Week Christmas song and see if we can't get it to number 1.
And will the lyrics have to be "Meet me by the bins, meet me by the bins"?
We can put that in the middle.
Guys, what are we doing making a Christmas album when we could clean up with a calendar? October! Is that Dara loading hay bales in October? What is going on? Oh my God!
You don't
What are you doing?
Don't give up the nipple.
No.
You don't show the nipple. That's the juice. You got to hold that back.
I'll let you in a secret. I've got 2.
God, this is the happiest Christmas ever.
You've no idea how
find
often
out-
we see these.
Scaramanga is amongst us.
How fat were your nipples? They're incredible. What the size of them?
My nipples are...
Are we supposed to be insecure about our
fingers.
nipples now?
Fingers you're looking at.
Oh, do it some more, do it some more. Anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise. Oh, yeah.
January 15th.
We're giving you 1 month just as a bit of a teaser here, and the other ones you have to buy, I'm afraid. We're kind of getting you addicted to the heroin with his nipples, and then we're withholding the gravy from there on in. Yeah. Why, where will you be? Will you be, like, sitting behind a piano or something? Or maybe, what? What's
I'll be on top of the piano like the Fabulous Baker Boys.
Where will you be, Dara?
That's what you call your testicles?
I see Dara as a sort of a farm hand. Just logs everywhere,
Rustic.
just loads of girls go...
Yeah.
Or it could be very artistic. It could be like Munch's The Scream, and it's just you completely naked.
Yeah. I like this album.
Thank you very, very much. In a kind of is that my cock out? Oh! Here, on a bridge in Norway.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you can make your way to the performance area, please. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is rejected questions from this year's exams.
What colour does a Smurf go when we choke it?
Translate the following into German. 2 World Wars and 1 World Cup. Doodah, doodah.
How many Pepperami Big Boys could you feed to Victoria Beckham through a tube before she became visible to the human eye?
What is the name of the force that pulls objects towards the centre of the Earth? Is it A, gravity, or B, magic?
Katie Price is supposedly worth £8.5 million and has got a thriving TV career. Explain.
If George Michael leaves at 8 o'clock for a 5-mile drive, when does he crash?
There are 6 lines of equal length. How long will Kerry Katona be in the bathroom?
If a train is going at 70 miles per hour, how surprised would you be?
What is amnesia? Is it A, memory loss, A, memory loss, or 4, the Battle of Hastings?
If Sally buys 3 oranges and 2 apples, how far south of Scotland is she?
Discuss the idea that Willy Wonka was a paedophile.
What is amnesia? Is it A, memory loss?
Draw a diagram of the male genitalia. Please use the tracing paper provided.
What are most Canadians renowned for saying? A.
English. Is standards declining?
Hitler, Pol Pot, Genghis Khan. Shag, marry or kill.
There's a wedding where Jane invites 20 guests and her partner Helen invites 40 guests. How angry is God?
The next topic is unlikely things to hear at Christmas.
In the current financial market, a dog is not just for Christmas, it's for Christmas dinner.
Dear Santa, thank you very much for my Super Soaker 500. I'm now the best armed British soldier in Afghanistan.
Bad news, I'm afraid. Santa didn't realise it was an eco house and he's been sliced to pieces by the wind turbine.
Have you been a naughty boy this year, Tommy? Would you like to be? I've got money.
Well, it seems ironic, really, doesn't it? We buy a non-drop Christmas tree and then this happens to Grandad.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me chlamydia.
A grain of rice for Christmas. Thanks. Thanks, Uncle Ben.
Now we are all familiar with Grandma's charade of Basic Instinct. Shall we turn the TV back on?
Why is your nose so red, Rudolph?
Because I'm an alcoholic.
You'd have thought the retail sector would have found some way to monetize this festival.
Baby Jack, we didn't know whether to get you a toy or a pet, so we've compromised and bought you a rattlesnake.
Hey, great! New socks! I'm off for a wank.
I remember when I stopped believing in Father Christmas. The year he abused me.
Mum, I was hiding in a sock and Andy did something weird.
Daddy, I ripped up one of my presents too quickly, and it was a puppy.
I discovered last night that your father has been having an affair. One of the chipolatas might taste a little bit strange.
Last night, Santa emptied his sack in our room. Which is why I'm leaving your mother.
This Christmas, I've decided to keep my Christmas broadcast short and sweet. Piss off.
Read about the things that happen throughout the world. Don't believe in everything you see or hear. Read all about it. Read all about it. Next to the world. Next to the world. Read all about it.
Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Andy Osho and Miles Jupp, Chris Addison, Hugh Dennis and Milton Jones. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of Defence Secretary Liam Fox and the Prime Minister on a recent trip. But what does FSRC stand for?
Is it, in fact, the 4 words that describe the pair of them? Feckless, spineless, reckless, clueless.
No, it's not.
Is this Liam Fox's way of making Cameron forget the whole thing? Is it Fox slips Rohypnol into coffee?
Is it Fiverr says the recession continues?
Is it outside the window, frankly, Stevenage requires camouflage?
Is it Fergal Sharkey and Richard Clayderman? I haven't got my glasses on, to be honest.
Is it a professional qualification? Are they both fellows of the Society of Right Cocks?
So we're just going for abuse now, are we?
Is it Frank Spencer and Roy Castle?
Not recognising them. Somebody tell them who they actually are, and we can save a lot of time.
OK, is it Frank Sinatra and Ray Charles?
No. If I can give you a clue, it's not just 2 names of any random people that begin FS and RC.
Quite simply, is it Fox's sake resign? Come on.
Is it Frank Sidebottom and Rita Cooley?
It's not! 2 people.
Facebook status, relationships complicated.
OK. Please, I'll give you a clue. F stands for Fox.
Fox scandal rocks Conservatives.
Thank you very much, Hugh. Very good. Yes, the answer I was looking for was Fox scandal rocks Conservatives. This is the news that Defence Secretary Liam Fox has been forced to explain his conduct following allegations that his working relationship with best friend and former flatmate Adam Werrity broke the ministerial code. Dr Fox faces a storm over the affair and has apologised to the House. Why is Dr Fox in trouble?
He's in trouble because he has his best man, his best mate, has been using a card which says advisor to Liam Fox. And you're thinking, if he was genuinely an advisor to Liam Fox, he is the worst advisor ever, because his first bit of advice should be, you should be having nothing to do with me. I'm really going to knacker your career.
What's his name?
Adam Werrity.
It's very difficult not to say that as Adam Werrity. All day I've been doing it like he's Elmer Fudd. Adam Werrity, Adam Werrity. Where was that fox? I am Adam Werrity.
But he's been taking Werrity to meetings with him, and I suppose the worry is that will spread through government. I mean, imagine if David Cameron had a useless bloke that he took to meetings with him.
Wouldn't it be great if all of this had come to light because someone would be going through Fox's bins?
Fox has been doing that classic thing of acting all surprised. Well, there appears to have been some wrongdoing. You know, he seems surprised that Werrity was there. I'm beginning to suspect that Fox actually thought Werrity was his imaginary friend. Surprised that the rest of us could see. What? You can see him? Can you see the giant rabbit? Forget I mentioned it.
How does he explain his presence at meetings? He's meeting, like, Sri Lankan trade delegations, and they're going, hello, you're whatever. And who's he?
Are they
going,
played by Mickey Rooney?
They are.
Hello, we from Sri Lanka. We don't really know what people from Sri Lanka sound like. This is foreign.
Londoners had a meeting with the Secretary of State for Defence and went, who this guy? And he went, he's a friend. OK. And I was fine. And then, like, what do you do? Sit at the end of the couch quietly? Don't mind me. I'm Werrity.
I think that's just a noise he makes.
Werrity. No, it's me. I'd imagine his catchphrase is, I'll just be here. And then occasionally he's leaning forward and going, do you have another Jaffa cake? And this rag is going, oh, Jaffa cake.
Jaffa cake. We know here of Jaffa cake. Strange following
If they go, oh, well, and then they go into the meeting and you can hear every time the door opens, oh no, Jaffa cake! They're furiously Googling Jaffa cake. They invented Jaffa cake from first principles. Jam! What jam?
Just there stuffing his face.
We can only speculate that this is the way the meetings went.
Liam Fox has set up his own investigation at the Ministry of Defence into his own conduct. I hope he asked himself some pretty tough questions.
Yeah, because he's basically got his mate from the MOD to investigate himself. So I'm thinking, this guy or whoever's doing the investigation will not be allowed to find anything wrong. If they do, they're going to wake up in Guantanamo, aren't they? You know what I mean? Surrounded by 4 Asian lads from Birmingham going, at least you know what you're in here for. We've been here since we were 5.
What kind of places was he there? Where was he meeting Adam Werwity?
He met Adam Werwity in places like Dubai.
Yes.
And the people seem surprised that he may have, embarrassed Liam Fox, but he is Liam Fox's best man. That is what best men do. He's basically just extended the best man speech over a number of years. Liam Fox was lucky when he turned up at this meeting in Dubai that, in fact, he was fully clothed, not handcuffed to the desk, and that was covered in foam.
Do you have any shaving foam? Jaffa cake and shaving foam.
I think you just can't get rid of him. He's one of those friends that just comes along whether you want them or not. He was his best man. I bet he was there on the honeymoon with Liam Fox's wife going, I really can't do it without him in the room. Where is he?
Carry on.
All he's done is take a friend to work, and that's not actually a crime, is it, Mr. Truffles? What's that? Do you want to say hello to the boys and girls?
No, I'm depressed.
Do you know why...
If you hadn't got that joke in, how long would you have kept the carrot in your pocket?
It's been there since last series.
We've all got work for our best man, haven't we? I mean, who was your best man?
It was Ed Byrne, but I'm not saying that he got...
He's never appeared on Mock the Week, has he?
Independent role. He doesn't walk around as
there should be an inquiry into this, Dara. I think we should get...
What animal has caused tensions to rise within the Conservative Party recently?
Is it a cat?
It was a cat, yes, it was a cat. This is the cat, with its owner, Camilla Soria and Frank True. Any idea why May the cat was so important?
Yes, basically, this was the whole idea that a judge had said he could only stay in the country because he owned a cat.
He being Camilla Soria, the man on
Turned out it was obviously a lie, and it's important that we shatter that myth. Otherwise, in fact, everybody coming into this country will be trying to buy a cat because, in fact, they can stay here.
Yes, who told the lie?
Theresa May.
Theresa May, yes.
We have, in fact, 10 million cats already in this country, and they kill 300 million creatures a year, including 55 million birds. They are evil bastards.
Cats do show a level of commitment. When we had a cat when I was a kid, right? This cat ate a ball of nylon string. It was when it was about 3 years old, and the string unravelled in its stomach and came out in its poo, right? Which meant that whenever it pooed, it came out like a string of sausages. I was very young, but all I can remember every morning is my dad with a pair of scissors going... It's going to go on for months. I don't know, just lifted it.
I just explained it. Camilla Soria is a Bolivian who fought deportation after committing a crime.
He was up for deportation partially because he stole from Debenhams. And that's a bit unfair. You can't get more British than stealing and looting.
What did he steal? What did he steal?
He stole a porcelain cat.
He did.
One of those ones that could wave bye-bye to him. As he left at the airport.
I used to farm cats, and let me tell you, their eggs don't taste nearly as chocolatey as they look.
OK, again, and the points go to Mars, Andy and Andy! Now we play a round called Quantitative Teasing. This game involves Milton, Miles and Andy, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is our stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. Television. Who wants to come in on television?
I'll take that one.
Andy.
Very good. OK, so I'm getting a bit fed up with how much reality TV shows are on at the moment. Like, The Only Way is Essex really just did my noodle in. The fact that they won a BAFTA. I mean, that's what for? Best foreign language film? You know what I mean? Like, you can just imagine it. Oh, shut up, oh, shut up, oh, shut up, oh, shut up. And then underneath it just says, I'm incredulous at what you've just said. And then, you know, thank God now X Factor's moved away from the audition stages, torturing those poor people. You know, you watch them rock up in the early stages. Hello, what's your name? Gonorrhea! All right, lovely. And what's that you're wearing? Oh, it's a waistcoat I've knitted from my own pubes. All right, lovely. And the weird thing about X Factor is it's making bigger stars of the judges than the contestants. You know, like I was watching Cheryl Cole on Piers Morgan's Life Stories, and I got really angry because I was listening to her talking about being in Africa and my fight with malaria. And I got so angry, and then I remembered malaria is a disease. It's not the name of another toilet attendant she's been kicking the shit out of. This. Look, if she likes hitting black people so much, maybe she should go out with Chris Brown, see how that works out for her.
Thank you very much, Andy. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is hospitals. Who wants to come in? Miles.
Hospitals. I can understand why some people think that they're a good idea. I really dislike them. I think hospitals are terrifying places to be. I've had several general anaesthetics over the last year. I'm terrified of all of these things. I think hospitals, they are basically they are grey buildings full of people who are dead, about to be, overworked, stressed out, or asking for change for the car parking facilities. That's all they... I can't understand, therefore, why even now, even today, we have this thing where the idea that a nurse's uniform is considered sexy. Now, I've got no doubt whatsoever that lots and lots of nurses themselves, I should imagine some of them unbelievable creatures, but the idea... but the idea that the outfit itself is sexy. And yet, if you wander into a sex shop, either, deliberately, or, you might have some sort of job that involves touring, you've constantly got to go and ask directions in places. Still, people are buying nurses' uniforms as a sexy outfit. What is sexy about a nurse's uniform? Surely a nurse's uniform, that just screams hospital at you. Who's at home going, oh, I'll tell you what, darling, could you dress up as a nurse for me tonight? You dress up as a nurse. I want you to remind me of the time I had a length of my bowel removed. Would you do that for me? Would you? Go on, I'll tell you what, when you put that on, act like a naughty nurse. Go on, act like a naughty nurse. A naughty nurse is one that doesn't wash their hands. That smothers you with a pillow, having subtly encouraged you to alter your own will.
OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been after. Let's spin the wheel. It's travel. Away you go.
Keep Britain tidy. Chop off Norfolk and Cornwall. People from New Zealand don't like being called Australian, do they? Oh, no. What people from Britain don't realise is an entirely separate culture. There's a great big sea between the two places. What people from New Zealand don't realise is that we in Britain don't care. I've just come back from Holland. When I was there, I was in a fish restaurant, and the bloke on the table next to me began to cough, so I ignored him. Then he began to cough a bit more, so I still ignored him. Then he began to choke really, really badly, so in the end I stood up and I smacked him on the back really hard. Anyway, it turns out he was just speaking Dutch. That works with Welsh as well. You have to admire the Dutch, because what they've done, right, is legalise drugs, and now there are far fewer people in prison. I suppose the next step is to legalise murder. There'll be far, far fewer people in general. Sometimes, though, it's difficult to know if you remember something or you remember the photograph of something. I think my earliest memory is of being in America, standing over an air vent and my skirt billowing up.
round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Andy, which category would you like?
Sport, please.
OK, your category is sport. The answer is booze, blondes and dwarves. What is the question?
What is the worst Earth, Wind and Fire tribute act on the circuit?
Is it what were the news of the world after stories about when they hacked Snow White's phone?
Why did Gandalf go missing for so long in Lord of the Rings?
Is it what's under this desk?
What's under this desk and eating a carrot at the moment?
No carrot.
Is it what are the 3 badges they've introduced to stem the decline in membership at the Cubs?
Is it what is the most common mishearing of Dutch Prime Minister Boes Blondendorf's name?
Is it what was on the conveyor belt in the Generation Game, Too Hot for TV?
Contents of the best ever Kinder Egg.
Is it things Ashley Cole's been sick on? All based on facts, people.
Is it what are Carrie Fisher's main recollections of filming Return of the Jedi?
Is it name 3 reasons cited in the recent Cranky versus Cranky divorce case?
What were the 3 weirdest things that MPs tried to claim extinction?
And you know the correct answer is?
It's probably what have the England rugby team been involved with? Or
That is
something
close enough.
like
That's
that.
absolutely fine. The question I was looking for is what might the England team be best remembered for after this year's Rugby World Cup? England's World Cup campaign came to an end on Saturday when they were knocked out in the quarter-final in Auckland by France in a 1912 defeat. They saw a number of on- and off-pitch scandals with the team's boozy night out at a club which featured dwarf throwing, attracting widespread criticism in the press. And unbelievably hilarious nonetheless. It wasn't a dwarf thing, it was leprechaun night.
I feel sorry for the dwarves. They've had it up to...
There were problems as well because one of them jumped off a ferry.
Yeah, Manu
Tuilagi.
Tuilagi.
Well, there's no end in there. If you want
No, it's his pronunciation of it, actually.
Oh, yeah, because you speak fluent Samoan.
Samoan. I speak... Sorry, hang on. Why would I need to speak fluent Samoan? He's English.
Well, he says he's English, but he's in fact Samoan. He just owns a cat.
In other news, what might we be facing this winter?
Winter.
Yes. That is genuinely the big news this week. Apparently winter will be coming this winter, and we should watch out for that. Because it might come as a huge surprise to people.
They're worried about this lack of solar activity because they're saying that the same last year. We had a very cold December, coldest for 100 years. A lot of our airports were closed, whilst, in fact, the airports in Alaska and Moscow were still open. So they're saying what we should get is a heated runway. And you're thinking, environmentally, that's got to be terrible. But also, it'd be dangerous, wouldn't it? If they're worried about all those birds flying up into the engines, think about it. A heated runway, there'd be cats curled up all the way around.
The other thing we used to do with my cat...
Oh,
It wasn't wait till it had a particularly big shit and do some skipping.
But my parents used to take it for a walk. They used to take it for a walk on a lead, on a 30-foot washing line.
Is that what he swallowed?
Yeah.
Beginning to fit.
I always dread to ask this, where do they take him on the little walk?
Oh, we took it everywhere. We took it on holiday. It went up, it climbed Penny Ghent in the Yorkshire Dales.
Don't forget, this is on the end of a line. It wasn't willingly... Basically, you're climbing it and dangling underneath you.
Did you ever get to the point when there was a washing line halfway into the cat and then halfway out, so the cat had basically 15 metres of... And then...
Why have BBC subtitles come under fire this week?
Because they're wrong.
They do tend to be. Why do they tend to be wrong, though?
Well, the reason that subtitles tend to be wrong, often they're typed live by people who make mistakes. But I don't know if you've ever typed when the telly's on. It's very distracting.
They were saying, weren't they? They're blaming it on this voice recognition software. And one of the examples was pigs apparently like to nibble anything that comes into their sheds, including wellies. That's what was being said. And it came up on screen, instead of wellies, they like nibbling willies. That has nothing to do with voice recognition software. That is somebody taking the piss in the BBC subtitle department.
Yeah, there's any number of these. The Labour leader Ed Miliband has complained previously that he's been referred to on the subtitling as the Ed Miller Band. Viewers were so surprised to see that the famous religious leader visiting a local town was in fact the Archbitch of Canterbury. Call this a church? I don't think so.
I saw that one come up.
Yeah, instead of
That would be
crossing
great.
yourself. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Ain't no bitch become priest in my church. The most famous example was during the Queen Mother's funeral, when what should have read, "We'll now have a moment's silence for the Queen Mother," read, "We'll now have a moment's violence." Just get it out of your systems. Whoever's nearby, just that's all. You get one slap. One slap. It's what you would have won. Buff.
There's always, they can always use the deaf subtitly people, the deaf signy people.
You were doing that. I genuinely didn't know you were doing that.
People who are now going deaf signy people in the corner.
They're just doing that, aren't they?
No, that's deaf for blur.
I don't know if there's any version of the show that goes out late with signing. I have no idea. Maybe you can tell me. That'd be lovely. Please let that actually happen. What might we be tapping our elbow? Excuse me, I'll do that again. Excuse me. Why might we be tapping that, for fuck's sake?
Now, see the subtitles coming up at the moment.
That's it. You and me are through. At the end of that round, the points go to Miles, Andy, and Andy. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, please. I read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. Okay, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to read in the Bible.
And lo, they finally saw the sign that God had promised. You are now leaving Swindon.
But when they got there, the tomb was empty. Rikes, said Scoob.
Sodom and Gomorrah, twinned with Tyne and Weir.
And the children of Israel wandered round the desert for 40 years, until eventually Moses' wife said, "Are you going to ask for directions?" Or...
And Eve did realise that she was naked and she was ashamed. But then Gokwan said, "Look, work it, baby, you look amazing."
And Noah said, if it carries on raining like this, we're going to have to eat the unicorns.
And Moses saw the burning bush and said to his wife, "I think you've overdone that bikini wax again."
And David smote Goliath. He meant to smack him, but he was using predictive text.
Eve! Eve! Use fig leaves, not nettles.
And the Lord said, "Shit, I've made a wasp."
And Jesus saw a traveller in distress and said unto him, well, why don't you just leave Dale Farm and find somewhere else to live?
And the Lord said to Gideon, take this book and put it in every travel lodge.
Listen, this is really awkward. I know there's a bit of a queue, but it's just that I'm not a really big fan of fish. Oh.
There were only 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Never go to Lidl on a Saturday night.
OK, the next topic, please. Unlikely things to hear in a makeover show.
Welcome to What Not to Wear. A welly on your cock.
This week's Look Good Naked, starring Edwina Currie, is the last in the series. And was recorded shortly before Gokwan's suicide.
Well, we've started off by ripping up all the decking. Abandon ship!
We are going to give you back all your confidence and your dignity as soon as we hoover the fat out of your arse.
Michelle has got jowls, false teeth, and, in fact, a moustache. But unfortunately, we're here to do up her front room, not her face.
David and Jane wanted more space, so we've repossessed their house and they're living in the park.
Well, we've pebble dashed, replastered and put new plumbing in downstairs, and now Anne Robinson is good as new.
Welcome to 60-minute makeup. Oh, babe, actually, that's going to take a lot longer.
If you want to feel better looking and increase your self-esteem, move to Leeds.
And today on Property Ladder, we're going to show you how to break into a property using a ladder.
You're obviously very sensitive about your weight, and you shouldn't be. Do you mind if I call you lard arse?
Well, Ian wanted a Renaissance look, so I've just set fire to a Catholic and taken a shit out of the window.
Talking of decking, who wants to punch Nick Knowles in the face?
Today on 10 Years Younger, we're going to try and squeeze 9-year-old Amy back up her mother's womb.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Chris, Hugh and Milton. And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are Andy Parsons, Andy Osho and Miles Jupp. Commiserations to Chris Addison, Hugh Dennis and Milton Jones. Thank you for watching. I'm Dara Breen. Good night.
All the Well Good bits from Series 2. It's Lee Nelson's Well Good show over on BBC 3 now. And tomorrow night, a show filled with bright ideas. QI gets inventive at 10. Next, the first interview with an MP jailed over the expenses scandal and new questions for the Defence Secretary in Newsnight.
Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Holly Walsh, Sinead Byrne, Chris Addison, Hugh Dennis and Milton Jones. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of Labour's two Eds, Balls and Miliband. But what does LAPM stand for?
Is it, look, a pair of Muppets?
Is it, in fact, every train traveller's nightmare? Is it lardy arse and Pratt on mobile?
Is it lovers avoid public meeting?
Miliband thinking, Labour actually picked me?
Or is Ed Miliband making his most important decision to date? Large American, pepperoni, margarita.
Is it just a state of the Labour Party in general? Is it just lumbering along pretty miserably?
Is it Linda and Paul McCartney? I've got my glasses on to be honest.
Is it last administration pissed money? That close to satire.
Is it simply lengthy article perplexes moron?
OK, we're going to get the correct answer if we can.
Labour admit past mistakes?
Well done, Andy Parsons. Thank you very much. Yes, the answer I was looking for is Labour admits past mistakes. This is the news that the Labour Party has apologised for some of its serious failures during its 13 years in power. Adopting a mea culpa strategy at this week's party conference, Ed Miliband admitted the party had got it wrong on immigration, and Ed Balls apologised for their role in the banking crisis. Have you been following the conference?
Oh, yeah, avidly. Because Ed Balls said, actually, that the financial crisis caught them by surprise, which is very odd, because if there's one thing that Balls do, it's warn you that there's about to be stuff coming. Satire.
Labour actually also apologised over immigration as well, didn't it?
Yes.
Turns out that basically when they were in charge, when you were coming into the country, they had no record of who was leaving or coming into the country, which seemed like madness to me, because whenever you came into the country, you always had to give your passport in, and they went bip. And I would assume that that meant that they knew whether you were coming in or whether you were going out. Apparently not. It didn't say the computer says yes or the computer says no. It might just as well have said bip, baked beans, 39 pence.
No, the last time I came in, I flew into Stansted and I waited for ages in the queue, and I got to the front of the queue and I handed my passport to the guy and he just stared at me. He literally just stared at me like he went on that. Looked down, looked up, looked down, looked up. And then he went, "Can I have your autograph?"
My brother had to renew his driving licence recently. He had to get a photograph taken for that. And he went out the night before, like the day he was going to get it done, he got absolutely wasted. So when the photograph was taken, he was really drunk. And I was like, "Why did you do that?" And he goes, "Well, in case I ever get pulled over for drink driving." I want to make sure they've got a... So they look at it and go, "No, that's what he looks like. Drive on, sir."
He's still wearing the little hat with the... What, by the way, how did Ed Balls relax during the week? Did you see him?
Football.
Oh.
He played football, yeah. The photographs appeared everywhere of Ed Balls playing football. And, Grant, it's not the most dignified at times, but he's committed. There's gusto there.
He says he's not going to run for the leadership. Looks like he could waddle for it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the fact that both photographs feature this doesn't make it look that he constantly, that's all he did, like that midway through the game he stored nuts for the winter.
All the people were chanting, he's fat, he's round, he devalued the pound. Eddie Balls, Eddie Balls.
Noticing that the sponsorship logo on it is the National Grid. Why are National Grid spending money to sponsor it? What is our other option to get electricity around other than the National Grid? Why does the National Grid need to advertise themselves? What else are we going to use?
This is the National Grid. Are you getting your electricity from a guy with a bucket? Don't do that. Use plugs. Plugs are connected to us, the National Grid.
This was a match. This was a football match between Labour MPs and journalists, apparently. And in the match report, it said that Labour had a very disappointing left wing. That close to satire.
Yeah. How popular is Miliband at the moment?
How long is a piece of shitty string?
He's like part rhetorical, but with the word shitty inside it. Yeah. So any idea where he is in the polls?
He's got a difficult job, hasn't he? Because he's got to keep the unions on side. Because we don't want a coal strike like 1974. Because that year there were a lot of snowmen without eyes.
isn't it that his personal rating is at an all-time low?
His personal rating is minus 33 at the moment.
Does that mean 33 people have to like him for him to say, nobody likes me?
It's a good line, actually. It's 16 and a half people really have to just swing. It's a swing thing. It's a good joke, but mathematically I can't let it pass.
Sarah, don't take this wrong, but fuck off.
The risk of going off on a tangent. I am impressed with the TV coverage of the Labour Party conference, particularly Paxman. He's come a long way since trying to eat dots and being chased by ghosts around a maze.
Never happier to say this. In other news, what is David Cameron doing to improve Britain's image abroad?
Now, this is interesting because David Cameron has decided he wants to put the great back in Britain because he is worried that after the riots, people think it's called great because it's the best place to start a fire in. It's a very clever joke. They've got absolutely nothing.
He's trying to promote Britain abroad, isn't
Yes.
he? He's basically trying, the ministers want to encourage people to come and shop in Britain, and you're worried that apparently the rioters may have given a negative image to Britain abroad.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, if you wanted to come to Britain for shopping, I don't think the riots would have put you off. You'd have thought, brilliant, I can go shopping and I won't have to pay for any of it.
But this campaign, the posters are including images like Richard Branson, Wallace and Gromit, and Henry VIII.
Yes.
Because these are this is what makes Great Britain great: late trains, wrong trousers, and murdering your wife.
I'll just show you the posters, because these were released by the Department of Culture, Media and Sport. Let's have a look at one of them. Countryside is Great Britain. See, it's difficult to even read them out loud because you don't really know how... It's Great Britain underneath. So great. Heritage is another one, as you mentioned. Henry VIII is on the first. And my personal favourite, which is green, is Great Britain, which is clearly written by Yoda. Green is Great Britain. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. We banged up a couple, just yesterday in the office. I like this one. It took 2 flushes. Now I feel great. Or another favourite of mine, which is thanks, love. That was great.
He's right there, isn't he? That one with the trains. That one with the trains is right because the trains are what makes Britain great because they provide unparalleled views of the British countryside. And they often provide them without the blurring effects of velocity.
It's not a very imaginative campaign, is it? He's just nicked the idea from Frosties, basically, as far as I can tell. What next? What next? The Thames. It's so full of sewage, it even turns the water chocolatey.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Ed, Holly and Andy. Now we play a round called Chortle Combat. This game involves Milton, Holly and Chris. So if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is modern living. Who wants to come in on that? Holly.
I recently changed where I live. I moved house, and I've moved to one of those areas that I think a lot of Britain is like this. It's sort of nice in some areas and a bit scuzzy in other areas. It's sort of a place where if you see a white tent on the side of the road, you're not quite sure if it's a crime scene or a farmer's market. When I bought it, my parents came to visit me, and they gave me the most middle-class moving-in present you can give anyone. They gave me a visitor's book. Which is really sweet, right? But I live in a one-bedroom flat in Peckham. If you come and stay with me, you have to stay in my bed. And I'm not sure I want those people signing a book with a comments box. People seem to celebrate in really odd ways now. People are really into fancy dress. That used to be a really American thing, but, the British are really getting into it. I hate fancy dress. I absolutely hate it. I've had some bad experiences. I once went to a Halloween party dressed as the Grim Reaper. That's a pretty common, choice of costume. The only trouble is, I got the wrong address. I mean, it was bad for only even worse for the old lady who opened the door. Found a harbinger of death standing there apologising for being early. With a bottle of Archers.
Thank you very much, well done, Holly. OK, let's spin the wheel again. And the subject is weather.
You do it. I'll do it. I've got this. Weather is one of the things that shows that the British people are great big jesses. Not the British people, actually. No, there's a split here. When it snows, Scottish people do this. Oh, look, love. Snow. See you later. English people go, oh, God! It is the end of day! When it snowed last year, the BBC were going, don't go out! It's -2! We don't know if humans can live at that temperature! There are men made of snow with outstretched arms waiting for you! Don't go out! And the news always talks us up. We're always woefully underprepared, woefully underprepared. Where's the salt? Where's the salt? Where's the salt? Look, we're never going to run out of salt in this country. As long as supermarkets continue to do value meals, we'll be fine, right? Fling a few lasagnas up the M1, you'll be grand. Don't worry about it. Chinese meal for 2, good for 40 miles, I should think, which won't be a problem. We massively overplay this. The news are the worst at it. Sky News, I was watching Sky News on the day after it snowed, the day of the lethal compacted ice. Reporting from a rural spa where supplies were running low. And in an attempt to ramp up the tension, the reporter genuinely said this phrase, "This place is down to its last pack of croissants." Oh, God, the humanity! Forced to eat pain au chocolat!
Thank you very much, Chris. Well done. OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is careers.
At college, I studied agriculture and communications, specialising in sheep. In the end, I came out with a BAA. After that, I set up the British Sheep Census, but I fell asleep halfway through that. At the end of the day, my dad always goes around pulling out all the plugs and turning out all the lights, very safety conscious. Why he got the sack from air traffic control. My nephew, when he grows up, he wants to be an accountant. So for his birthday, I bought him a great big bag of receipts. I said, listen, don't worry if you don't like them. I've kept all the presents. You know, when you're a pirate and you work mainly canals, annoying, isn't it, when you try and get one of your enemies to walk the plank? They just run off down the towpath. Mind you, the state of the towpath near us, I wouldn't touch it with...
OK, point at the end round. Go to Milton and Chris. Come on, sit back down. Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Holly, which category would you like?
Please, might have foreign news.
OK, your category is foreign news. And the answer is 12 years. What is the question?
Is it how many years WKD has to be in an oak barrel before it's served?
Is it how long will it take to get out of the Olympic car park afterwards?
Is it what's the record for being lost in an IKEA?
What is the radioactive half-life of Sillet Bang?
Is it how long does it take to sun-dry a tomato in Glasgow?
How long does a minute in Jeremy Clarkson's company feel like?
What did the group The Four Seasons temporarily rename themselves when they experimented with 44 extra members?
Is it the average age of retirement for a cage fighter in Preston?
Is it how long can I hum for?
No, it is not that.
Is it?
Okay, let's go to the correct answer.
It's how long does it take to piss out one of those big cokes you get in the cinema?
Is it if someone was half my age, how old would they be?
How old do you have to be to think Dappy from N-Dubs is a musical genius?
And finally, what age does Gary Glitter consider borderline?
You couldn't let Glitter
No
go.
way.
Anyone? No,
okay, yeah. Is it how long will Putin be allowed to serve as Russian president if he gets elected next time?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Very good. Thank you very much, Hugh. Yes, the question I was looking for is, for how many more years might Vladimir Putin be president of Russia if he wins next year's Russian election? This is news of Vladimir Putin ended speculation by announcing his intention to run for the role of president of Russia next year. The likelihood is that he'll win 2 terms, which would keep him in power until 2024.
There's a huge debate about this. There's fear in the West that this is going to damage relationships with Russia because Medvedev was much more of a reformer than Putin, but really it doesn't matter. Medvedev, Putin, it doesn't matter who's in the Kremlin. The problem with the Kremlin is whoever is in the Kremlin, you can't feed them after midnight and they mustn't come into contact with water.
Can I point out to any of the agents watching that it wasn't me who took the piss out of any of you? It was the others. There's no need to irradiate my food. I said no. Irradiate Andy and Dara's food. They've already lost their hair. Leave me alone.
It's a weird way to kill somebody, isn't it? Irradiating their food, you know, irradiating sushi in particular.
Yeah.
I mean, as a delivery method, a small conveyor belt seems like a fairly random way to go. Hee 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 hee. Soon he will take. Hee hee. Oh wait, no, he's taken it. He's left it. Oh, it's coming back here. It's coming back here. Oh! Which one is it? Which one is it? Oh!
This also was David Cameron's problem, wasn't it? When he went to Russia about 2 weeks ago, didn't he, Cameron?
Yes, he did.
It was a very difficult trip for Cameron, though. Because, first of all, he wasn't allowed to mention Litvinenko, but even harder, for the whole trip, he had to stop himself saying, simples.
That's the most awkward photo outside a Giggs family reunion. Putin increasingly looks like the Terminator wrapped in the skin of Alf Stewart out of Home and Away.
That looks like a really bad thing from Madame Tussauds, doesn't it? You'd be pissed off if you paid 30 quid to go and see that.
It does like Madame Tussauds by the guy who doesn't do hands very well. Yeah, I'm really good with faces. I do eyes, but I just can't do hands. They're like, oh, yeah, my hand. I just kind of hide them normally in jackets and stuff.
I actually prefer the phrase chamber pot to Putin.
What new look has he been sporting recently, though?
He got a facelift.
We think that he got a facelift, yes.
Why can you not say... We're not allowed to say he had a facelift?
Well, no, because we don't know for definite. And I'm not saying that this show would be in any danger if it specifically said that Putin had a facelift. I'm just saying that she said that she had a facelift. That's all I'm saying. Who is this running dog of the capitalist regime? Let's just see the then and now, right? This is, what he looked like and how he looks like now. No, he's not. He just got a crocodile clip on the back of his head. And he's just more relaxed.
It's possible that he has had a facelift. I don't think he even has a Russian accent. It's just that everybody sounds like it when they faces like this. Help me, I can't feed myself.
In other news, what have scientists been all worked up about this week?
They've been worked up by the fact that apparently Einstein might be wrong and that maybe something can travel faster than light. And I'm not surprised by this because I have got those energy-saving light bulbs. And what I like to do is I like to turn them all on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon because by the time it gets dark, they're throwing out a bit of light.
love that picture of Einstein. I always think they've just airbrushed Marilyn Monroe out of the photo.
I think what they've airbrushed out of that is, in fact, a 9-volt battery. And it's having a fantastic time.
But this whole thing about Einstein and the speed of light, here's what I don't get. Dara, you know about this.
I know a little bit about this, but not yet.
Because the whole thing is that apparently time isn't constant. That if you're travelling, like, time slows down.
Yeah,
and time is different if you're travelling. And the way he proved it was based on the fact that the speed of light is constant. So maybe, how can the speed of something be constant if time itself is not? When speed is measured.
Yeah, but this is the time outside the frame of reference of the thing that's travelling.
Is there anybody in the audience whose brain is currently
space time? If you're a beam of light, if you're the beam of light,
I am a shining beam of light.
No, Ed, you're a beautiful snowflake.
It's all going to kick off later on, isn't it?
If you're a beam of light, there is no time for you. A beam of light appears everywhere simultaneously.
What do you mean there's no time for you? If you're a beam of light, it is your time to shine.
Okay, I'm not turning this into Glee, right? Which is where you want to go with this, right? So you just take your...
Are you saying that the speed of light... How fast is the speed of light relative to, say, hot cakes? Is it faster? What about a rat up a drain pipe? Yeah. Faster, slower than shit off a shovel?
It's seemingly marginally slower than the shit off the shovel, but rats still can't match it.
I heard that the neutrinos travelled from Switzerland to Italy faster than Nazi gold at the end of the World War.
While they were travelling, was time not different for them?
Yeah, for them, but not... Oh, Jesus. For them, yes.
Ed, don't worry your head about it. You're a beautiful snowflake.
What I like about this is that loads of people who have absolutely no understanding of physics have had to sit down and try and work out really complicated things. Like, previously to this, I thought that Einstein's theory of relativity and Einstein's theory of special relativity meant cousins no, second cousins yes.
I don't think light actually travels that fast. I don't know if you tried running with a torch.
It's all very complicated, isn't it? I don't profess.
Yes, Ed. Yes, Ed, it is. I don't profess to completely... I'll let you finish a second, but I would love that to be people's final word on the whole thing.
It's all very complicated.
It's all very complicated, so don't worry your pretty little head. At the end of that round, the points go to Chrissy and Milton. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see, so if everyone can make their way over to the performance area. I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is bad things to say in a job interview.
When I said I was a Yale student, I studied key cutting at Mr. Minutes.
Why do we want this job? Don't tell him I have to.
No, I applaud your policy of positive discrimination, and that's why I blacked up.
Can I just check? This office is more than 50 metres from a school.
What do you mean, no experience? Being abducted by aliens isn't an experience, and I don't know what it is.
Well, yes, I would make the perfect train driver. I'm always late, and I'd break down really easily.
I think I'd make a very good diplomat. I'd like to live in Paris with all the other parasites.
What do I see myself doing in 5 years' time? Exactly the same, only on Dave.
Thank you for seeing me. I hope you don't mind if I stay sat down for a moment. I've got a little erection bubbling away.
No, emu, no, no.
What can I bring to this job? How about the photocopier from my last office?
Yes, well, in spite of my lack of medical experience, I still think of Gynecology is a calling.
What are my weaknesses? Fat birds.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely things to hear on a consumer programme.
This week on Watchdog, another shower of gullible twats ask us to make sense of their piss-poor decision-making.
Welcome to Watchdog. Here's a dog.
But when he asked the cold callers for their identification, they shot Mr. Bin Laden with an AK-47.
I would like to complain about the boomerang I bought. I threw it, but it never came back.
This week, we investigate bikini waxing strips. Are they just a rip-off?
Tonight, we're investigating fencing and why I got tickets for that instead of the 100 metres final, which is what I wanted.
Many of you who have bought Death Stars have emailed us complaining about a security problem with one of the exhaust vents.
Although Austin the Butcher claims that his sausages are made of premium meat, we can reveal that's bollocks.
The cruise had a 1940s theme, and Tom and Vera were delighted until they were sunk by a U-boat in the North Atlantic.
Yeah, I didn't ask for it, didn't order it, got it even though I don't even want it, and it doesn't even work. We have some more views on the coalition after the break.
What was sold as a vibrator is clearly just a taser with a stale sausage attached to it.
But something was wrong with the car. The clock said 63,000 miles, while the mileometer said 3:15.
I would like to complain about the sushi restaurant at Gatwick Airport. There's nice big portions going round on the conveyor, but they do taste luggagey.
Dear Watchdog, I'm extremely pissed off with this product. I bought just for men, my wife used it, and now I am gay.
Identity theft is on the increase. I'm Dara O'Brien. We work, so he doesn't have to.
Okay, give it a round point to Chris, Stu and Milton. And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are Chris Allison, Hugh Dennis and Milton Jones. Commiserations to Andy Parsons, Holly Walsh and Ed Byrne. Thank you for watching. I'm Dara Breen. Good night.
Stephen Fry is indecisive tomorrow night at 10 here on BBC Two. Alan Davies and Phil Jupitus are on hand to help him make some decisions. Join us for QI.